one thing that I've heard about from time to time during the time of these military operations and discussions about potential future military operations is that it might be potentially necessary to bomb power plants that are dual use as a kind of necessary evil to overthrow the Islamic Republic. And it might hurt the Iranian people, but it might be necessary according to its advocates. But on the other hand, the overthrow of the Islamic Republic is entirely dependent on the Iranian people. And this might be a retarded question on my part, but isn't coordinating the Iranian opposition entirely dependent on electronic communication? So, from a purely practical point of view, how would this not be to shoot oneself in the foot? What am I missing here?
Oh, so your question is that if they hit the power plants, the Iranian people would not be able to communicate? Is that what you're saying?
Uh, well, yes, I mean, don't you need to charge your phones and so on?
So the electricity required for charging phones are so small. I don't think they're gonna. I think we're gonna have problems with air conditioning, fridges. I don't know, in winter heating, um, stuff like that. I don't think we're gonna have issue with people being able to charge their phone. And in a situation like that, the Islamic Republic will cut the internet. And but still phones will be important for communicating directly between phones with each other. So even if without the internet, I think people would be able to connect one by one with the phones with each other directly from phone to phone. I think there's a system. I don't know. I mean, I'm not a technical, like I don't know the technical details regarding that. Like when internet is out, how do people their phones get connected? There's a system. I don't know what it is, but anyways, I've never had to deal with like a complete internet outage, but I have to look into that because it's important to know that. But I don't think, maybe I'm wrong about this, but I think people will be able to at least charge their phones. Like I think they will have that, you know. I mean, people have, there's so many, because the reason why I think that is because it just takes very little to charge your phone, right? And people have the Iranian people have dealt with power outages a lot, so they must have backups, batteries, um, solar dishes for their phones. You know, I I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Actually, maybe the only my friends, maybe the people I'm in touch with, have figured this out, and maybe I shouldn't generalize the experience of the Iranian people to the people I'm in touch with. So let me adjust that. Let me take that back. Maybe you're right, but the people within my network within Iran, they keep giving each other advice, and they have ways. It's really hard for you not to have enough power to charge your phone, at least among my friends. You know what I mean? Even in complete blackouts.
Okay, because I would have thought that that was, I charge my phone by plugging it into the wall. So I'm thinking of it as part of a kind of general electricity network. I don't have any kind of generator or anything. Do people in Iran? I mean, and I'm also thinking Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi's call to action, wouldn't that be through electronic means? It wouldn't be by, a
Yeah.
letter on horseback.
So it would be most people get it through satellite TV when the internet is out. Most Iranian people still have satellite TV, so they watch Iran International on their satellite TV. So that's what and other news sources. Maybe now Prince Reza Pahlavi has his own TV channel, so they will get it through there. So you're right, because if your phone is not connected, um,
But the
I
TV
mean,
as well, though.
yeah, TV will need more power. So I think with that power, you would not have TV. Yeah, but it's just I don't want to like make it seem like it would be easy. It would be difficult, but it's I'm surprised about how fast news spreads. So I was, for example, very shocked about how much news was spreading, important news was spreading inside Iran, even without the internet. The important news, like so many of the videos were not being spread because that takes a lot of data, right? But the headline news was being shared around. even without the internet, quite fast. But you're right. Maybe the combination of the internet and power plants gone would be much it would make it much more difficult to or coordinate. You're right. Like I'm when I'm speaking, I'm not speaking as if I know about this. I'm just talking based on my experience on a small group of people. I mean, well, not small, my network is big, but compared to the rest of Iran, my network is much more tech savvy and more prepared for situations like this, right? So I don't want to act like this is a good representation of the rest of Iran. But my family there, for example, in Iran, they're pretty prepared for long blackouts. Like they have, and again, my family would not is not a good representation of most Iranian people. So it would be, you're right, it would be very difficult. And I don't, but to be, actually, let me get to the point. I agree with you that I think hitting the power plants is not the thing you should be doing unless you tried so many other better ideas, right? Like there are so many things to hit before your power plants should be like, okay, we'll try everything else and nothing works, so let's go to power plant. And I don't think we have exhausted the list. Like the first thing you should do is basically take out all the layers of the Islamic Republic. Like we shouldn't be touching. I mean, I'm not saying we shouldn't be touching power plants, but I am saying we shouldn't be touching power plants until we unless we tried everything else, right? So power plants, for example, should be the last thing we try. We should be trying hitting all of the regime leaders. We're at layer 3, right? They say the 7 layers. Just take layer 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 all at the same time, and the 32 regional commanders. Just go all of them, right? Don't touch any power plants until you do that. Destroy every military base, destroy every kill every politician of the Islamic Republic, take out all the military infrastructure, the Basiji infrastructure, everything that is remaining, their networks, everything. And then after that, if they're still standing, they're like, okay, now we have to do power plants, right? But yeah, I think you're right. That should be the last thing. Honestly, I think if you take out 7 layers of leadership, you wouldn't need to touch the power plants. It will all come crumbling down. And also, by the way, one last thing, I appreciate you thinking about this and caring. Like this also demonstrates a huge level of care for how the Iranian people would communicate in that situation. So that is, that you need to have a big heart to care about that. So thank you for caring about that and expressing it and expressing your concern. I appreciate that.
Hey, I'll make this fast. I know you have to leave, Armin. But this is something I know I can speak to. Not only am I half Iranian and have family in Iran, but I'm also half Cuban and have family in Cuba. And I will tell you, in Cuba, they usually get 3 hours of power a day, and the power gets cut off. And when I tell you, the people of Cuba are so freaking creative of how the ways they charge their phone. They just take a bunch of junk and well, what we would see as junk, and create their own portable chargers, or they rewire the car to be able. And keep in mind, these cars are from the 50s, and use it to charge their phones. So they're pretty creative in Cuba. I'm sure the Iranian people are just as creative or even more creative to come up with something to charge their communication devices.
Yeah. I mean, yes. So I know many people buy solar panels to make sure that they could always charge their phones. But this is among people who could afford solar panels. I'm pretty sure so many people can't. But yes.
Yeah, in Cuba they can't afford any of that. They barely can afford to eat. You have families over there that are really starving and becoming extremely thin. So it's really bad in Cuba, I will say. So being able to afford solar panels is next to impossible.
My name is Armin Navabi. I'm an Iranian political analyst with decades of experience fighting the Islamic regime inside and outside of Iran. Make sure you follow me for more, and also make sure you join our discussion group. I'm there almost every single day. come talk to me there and the rest of the people there in our group calls. It's a great place to meet and talk to people who like talking about politics. The link is in the description and or in the bio. You could also get there by scanning the QR code on the screen. See you there.